Hulusi Akar has the military bearing you'd expect from Turkey's former top general. A mere platoon commander during the division of Cyprus over 40 years ago, he's now President Erdogan's right-hand man, and as he sees it, once again defending Turkish rights.
Just to clarify this, are you saying that you refuse to stop the energy research work in the Eastern Mediterranean?
Yapmaya tabii ki devam edeceğiz. Bu bizim 83 milyonun halkımızın, milletimizin bir hakkıdır, hukukudur. Bunu kullanıyoruz biz. Dolayısıyla bu iş kimseye karşı bir tehdit değil.
This is a seismic research ship, one of 3 exploring the seabed for oil and gas, and which, despite the threat of EU sanctions next week, the minister says will continue their work. The ship was deployed south of Cyprus, the Turks claiming a territorial right to this water as part of their coastline's continental shelf. 17 days later, the Greeks announced that they had agreed these maritime boundaries with Egypt, which cut across these boundaries agreed between Turkey and Libya last year. But the disputed waters here around the Greek island of Kastellorizo are the biggest potential flashpoint. This week we accompanied Greece's president as she inspected a fast attack boat in the tiny island's port. The Greeks are not making any threats, she told us, but the Turks say this is one of 16 islands which should be disarmed under previous agreements. The defence minister claims his own flight over the Aegean in an F-16 jet last month was no provocation, but a morale boost for Turkish pilots. Mock dogfights with Greek F-16s are not uncommon, though a Greek Navy ship collided with a Turkish one last month, and the risk of accidental conflict is that much higher. At an EU Mediterranean summit last week, Emmanuel Macron of France threatened EU sanctions against Turkey. A few days later, the Greeks announced the purchase of 18 French jets, which makes EU or NATO mediation even harder.
President Macron of France described Turkey as a re-emerging imperial power with fantasies about its historical past. And that's what people are worried about, isn't it? They think the Ottomans are back in quite an aggressive way.
Sayın Macron burada çözüme değil, buradaki problemlere benzin döküyor. Bunu getiriyor. Ve dolayısıyla bu işler bu şekilde uzayıp gidiyor.
As for the British, well, HMS Argyle, in the foreground here, has been on joint exercises with the Turkish Navy in the Eastern Mediterranean in the last few days. The British are eyeing up post-Brexit trade deals with Turkey, including the sale of Rolls-Royce engines for a new Turkish fighter plane. The defence minister seems in fighting spirits, though this crisis has no obvious peacemaker nor any compromise the Greeks, with so many islands, are likely to accept. And whichever side you take, a key ally is being cast even further adrift from the West.